Hey, credit heroes! If you've ever seen a problem and you wanted to solve it in a big way, today's podcast is for you. Today I'm joined by Rodeny McGuire. He's the founder and CEO of the McGuire Consulting Agency and has changed over 1,000 lives. And today he's going to share exactly how he did it. So you better stick around. My name is Daniel Rosen, and welcome to Credit Repair Business Secrets. Our most successful credit heroes, the ones who make a great living and make a massive impact, they really care about helping people and changing lives. After leaving the automotive world, Rodeny still wanted to help people, but in a more specific way. So he dove into the world of credit repair, specifically helping people remove unwanted hard inquiries from their credit reports. And he's been killing it ever since. So please welcome to the podcast, Rodeny McGuire. Hey, Rodeny.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
I love
I'm
that.
honored.
Blessed and highly favored. That is so
Yes, sir.
cool. Okay, I
Yes,
want to
sir.
know everything about you, but let's start with, where are you? Where are you right now?
Right now, I am in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Nice. Did you grow up there?
No, I am from St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm from the middle of America.
Very, very nice. And
Yes.
what was your life like before credit repair? How did this all happen?
So I grew up always a salesperson, right? So I've never done anything outside of sales. Started off, everybody always say, when was your first sales job? Well, mine was when my mother told me I couldn't have a cookie and I had to go back and figure out how to get that cookie, right? So when I would go figure out how to, I tell her, hey, I clean my room. Can I get a cookie now? Hey, I mop the floor. Can I get a cookie now? But in the sales world, I started off as a telemarketer. So I sold newspapers across the United States. I was really, really good at selling newspapers. And then a buddy of mine he told me he was in the automotive industry and he did really well. And I said, you know what? I want to go to the automotive industry. I want to sell cars just like you. And so we went over there. We started pushing buggies and putting more dreams in driveways than you can imagine, right? And we did really, really well. And I worked my way up into the dealership world, becoming finance manager, finance director, general sales manager, general manager, and doing so, man, I just absolutely fell in love with it. And I did 10 years, and I was like, you know what? That's the story. That's how she wrote the automotive industry, kind of really turned all this into what it is now. I personally always had good credit, me
Mhm.
personally. Um, but I watched so many people come in that we couldn't help, and just sitting by on the sideline with no resolution for them was insane to me. It's just absolutely insane. Like, that was definitely a big piece that showed up for me before starting this, seeing that many people get declined. Yes, absolutely.
How did you start to figure out how to get your business started doing credit repair from being there to the dealership to where you are now? What was the catalyst?
Well, after being in the automotive industry for 10 years, if anybody out there watching knows about, the industry, you work a lot of hours.
Hmm.
You're putting in the time. You're not going to just, make a great living and not work. And so I had a little girl coming. I had a baby on the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so, I had always made a promise when I had a kid, I was going to get out of the industry. I wasn't going to work the, long 12, 15-hour days anymore. I needed to figure out how to do something different. So when that time was coming and it was starting to press me, and time is our biggest asset that's very limited, right? It's our limited asset. And so, I made the decision to leave. But before I left, I was online searching for what could I get my hands on, what could I do, and so I bumped into a guy. His name's Vladimir Debuske. I'll give him a shout out. He owned a company called Steps to Wealth, and I took his course and I went through it, and it talked all about credit repair. It talked all about credit repair and funding and things like that. And so it really gave me insight into, okay, what can I do? And he sat with me side by side and, coached me through just the credit repair side of it. But I wanted to focus on one big piece, and it was the problem that I had as a 750, 760 credit score. and it was increased. It was one thing. It doesn't matter how good your credit is. If you've got more than 3 within 12 months, they're going to deem you high risk. And they did. So my solution was for myself. And then I said, if I'm getting declined, I know for what, good and well, there's so many more people going through the same problem.
You're getting declined with a 750 credit score?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's insane. I didn't know that happened.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you start applying and say for instance, you got a 750 credit score, and I've had houses, $345,000 houses. I've had many cars, not to showboat or anything like that. But, when it was time for me to like apply for a business credit card and, try to get some business funding,
Hmm.
um, I have 5 inquiries, trying to just shop different banks.
Sure.
And I started to get declined, and they wouldn't find me. I couldn't finance a Snicker bar, to be honest with you.
Wow. And then how did you start to turn that into a business?
I sat down and I wrote my pain points down, and I
Mhm.
said, you know what, I need a camera. So my first investment was my camera and my microphone. And I said, you know what, I don't know really what to say. I'm just going to get on my camera and tell my story and tell my pain point. And I did, and I put a few $100s behind it, and it started to attract people. And I just let it run and let it run, and I was on the phone, right? They were calling, getting me, and I took it from there, just ran it from there.
That's so cool. And so what were you posting those first videos on?
Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook was my baby. Facebook became my best friend.
Hmm.
Facebook. I really wasn't into Instagram at all. So Instagram was kind of like I was a late bloomer, but Facebook was my baby. That was my best friend.
Amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, I watched a lot of your videos this morning. I saw you on
Really?
Instagram. I watched you on TikTok. There, you make really great videos. You're
Thank
very,
you,
very
thank
good
you,
at
thank you. I didn't think I was good at them.
it. No, you are. And is that your main way of getting clients today?
Yeah. So we do. Of course, we have word of mouth, um, and we have referrals, and we've got some different affiliates.
Hmm.
We got a couple dealerships that work with us, but my main is advertising. I advertise a lot. I advertise a lot. Like you, I see all of your videos.
Hmm.
I made sure I'm in your algorithm.
How many clients do you have today?
2000.
That is amazing. Can you share a success story of a client whose life was changed by your service?
A client, actually, a good friend of mine. His name's Trayvon. He was working in a dealership, and he had her come in, and he couldn't get her approved. And so he said, "Hey, I've got a guy that, mind you, she didn't know who I was or anything like that." He's like, "Hey, I have a guy that can help you remove the negative inquiries," because she had a lot. She had been shopping, right? Just it's the normal thing to do. And he was like, he can get those things cleaned up for you, as well as clean up any other items that you may have. And I think that she was, when she first came to me, I think like more like a 497
Hmm.
credit score, and in 90 days, uh and mind you, she was a crazy success story. So I say that to say she's a crazy success story. In 90 to 120 days, she was a 740. Changed her
Wow.
life. She was able to go in and go purchase a vehicle, no money down, and walk out of there with a peace of mind, knowing that she took the first steps. He put my name in the ring, and she followed his lead. And I was thankful for him. I'm thankful for her. She's a great client of mine. To this day, we laugh and joke about it, and I was just super happy to be able to help her.
That's so awesome.
A good buddy of mine, he had child support on his credit. He had some collections, and he believed in me. He believed. I promise you, if I told him the sky was orange, he would believe me. He was a believer, right? And so I said, "Man, I'm gonna help you fix your credit. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you get you where you want to be." And he was another crazy success story. He was my first client that I ever worked with, and within 90 days to 120 days, we got him to a 740, and it was like it made me kind of open my eyes, like, wow, right? So that was crazy. I've had a lot of crazy success stories in like 120 days. It was kind of wild, and we did the inquiry removal, and they had some different other things on there. But I've got a great team. When I first started, actually, I hired a VA right off the jump.
Most people continue to work alone, and then they just get bombarded by work, and they can't grow the business. That was very, very smart that you got hired
Yeah.
a VA. Good.
Yeah, I made sure that I come from running car dealerships, right?
Hmm.
Multi-million dollar infrastructures.
Sure.
And even though you're the owner, you can't sell the car, finance the car, talk to the bank, talk to the customer. You can't do all of those things. Definitely not if you want to scale it. So I knew from the beginning that I wanted to scale my company, and I wanted to be able to help as many lives as I could. And the only way I could do that is if I had a virtual assistant, somebody to be able to help me out.
Sure.
And then also be able to, my virtual assistant, I picked off a good one, has studied consumer law for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. So, she's a paralegal. And so when I got her, she could help me in areas where I may have been lacking.
Hmm.
And she taught me so much to where we were able to get so many things done so much faster just because of her and her efforts. And she's been with me ever since we started. She's still with me today.
That's amazing. And do you have other team members as well?
Technically, I have 10 virtual assistants now.
Wow, that's incredible. Good for
Yeah,
you.
thank you. So we got 3 in customer service, we got 6 on the dispute team, and then we've got 3 people in sales. So yeah.
Wow. What's your advice for someone starting a credit repair business and they want to start to hire a team or at least get a VA? How do you go about replicating what you do? How do you teach them all the different parts of the business?
I got this phrase that I take with me everywhere I go, and I always say, "Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast." And if you can take that and implement that into what you have going on, and just understand that if you go slow and smooth, it will become faster because you're going to be able to perfect your processes, right? I'm a very big process guy. Like from start to finish, there has to be a process. Right? Everybody has to go through that same process, no matter what. So to the person that's out there, and I do get that question a lot. It's a very good question. To the person out there that's wanting to get in the business and learn the business, personally, I would not do this business and would not have started this business without my virtual assistant. Just because she's got my back from the very beginning to the end, start to finish. She's got my back. I might know something, she might know something more than me. You get what I mean? I don't like being the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the smartest. If I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm leaving the room. I'm leaving. I'm going into a different room. So I'll tell you, get a virtual assistant because they'll definitely be able to help you in regards to the laws and be able to walk you through the processes step by step. Without my virtual assistant, I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's amazing. Now, what were some of the biggest obstacles you faced when getting the business started?
When you want to grow fast, like I wanted to, the only way we felt we could grow is advertising. I don't think there's really any way around scaling a company unless you advertise. Word of mouth is cool and it's going to get you off the ground, get you your first few customers or whatever. But when you start talking thousands of clients, you're not going to earn thousands of business if you're not advertising. So the problem that we ran into, and the biggest obstacle still to this day actually, is advertising, right? Just because it's very expensive, it's not cheap. And if you don't have the team behind you when you put them advertising dollars out there, you can fall into some pitfalls very fast. It doesn't take much to fall into the traps of Meta and all those other platforms, right? So you're a great advertiser, so you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that was one of my big things is advertising, learning how to advertise, learning how to shoot the videos, knowing what to say, knowing all the like advertising is its own bubble.
Now, are you running paid ads right now?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Where are you running them?
Meta,
Okay,
Facebook, Instagram. Yeah.
got it. Because I saw so many videos you had made that were organic, but they're getting a whole lot of views. What's the primary driver? Is it now coming from the organic content or from the paid ads?
Paid ads. Yeah, paid ads wins when in regards to leads.
Hmm.
Yeah, paid ads wins tenfold,
Amazing.
tenfold.
And what's your most effective marketing strategy right now for getting new leads?
I kept, I got my buddy of mine. He always beats me upside the head about my ad script because I use the exact same one every single time and I never change it. Right? If I do change it, I change like very little things about it. But my message goes something like this. Um, if you have more than 3 hard inquiries on your credit profile within the last 12 months, unfortunately, the banks have deemed you high risk. And here's the reason why. See, they believe you're trying to get too much credit too fast. So, what does that mean for you? Well, every time you apply for your personal credit card, business credit card, or even a line of credit, unfortunately, you're going to get declined. So here's the solution. Here at the McGuire Consulting Agency, we can help you remove all of your hard inquiries that aren't attached to an open account in as little as 15 days. And so it kind of goes like that.
That's really good. I love that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Um,
yeah, that's the script that I've used for 15 months, 16 months. It still works to this day.
Incredible. Now, I saw on your website you had a whole section dedicated to testimonials of people you've helped to purchase a car. How important are client referrals and testimonials for your business?
Very, very. I believe there will be a point where I would really like to be at this point, but I'm not there yet now. But I would really like to be where we don't have to do paid advertisement anymore. I would really, really, really like to be there where I don't have to do paid advertisement. I don't know if that ever will come. Maybe that's just a pipe dream. But if we didn't have referrals, um, I mean, it just makes the day a little tougher to say the least.
Sure.
Because our referrals and our testimonies mean everything to us.
Hmm. Well, I want to talk credit repair with you.
Sure.
Since since I know it's your specialty, I want to talk about hard inquiries. So, just for anybody who doesn't know, how long do hard inquiries stay on your profile and why?
Hard inquiries stay on your credit profile for 2 years, and the reason why is so that the banks can assess your credit worthiness and your credit seeking behaviors, right? So they have 2 years to be able to track how much money you're asking for. What type of behaviors are you having? Are you having the behaviors of somebody that isn't so much credit worthy, right? Do you go apply for 15 banks? Within a 6 month time frame or a year time frame. So it's really there for them to make an assessed judgment on your credit, right? They want to know, are you worthy or not, and they're checking to see if you're savvy, because the banks do like savvy people. They love credit savvy people. The more credit savvy you are, the more money they're willing to lend to you.
Amazing. Yeah, I didn't realize the banks judge you that much for hard inquiries. And what's your strategy to remove hard inquiries?
A couple different strategies we use. I'll give you one. We most definitely get the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau involved. It's if you don't, I just think that you are taking the 2002 route to do it. You get what I mean?
Hmm.
The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is there to, protect our clients and protect us as consumers, right? So that's where that consumer law aspects comes into it. So we get the Consumer Protection Bureau involved, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau involved. We get the Federal Trade Commission involved. We get the if we need to, we'll make a complaint to the Better Business Bureau. But we also, put together a package, a dispute package, and using the artificial intelligence that we have to label and list all the inquiries that are on that, on your profile. And then we send it in to the CFPB portal, and then we force the CFPB to talk to the smaller bureaus, to TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, right? Because there's the other old way where you can try to send it in through the mail, and not saying that doesn't work, right? It's just less efficient, less effective. When you get the CFPB involved, it literally gives the businesses a count. They got a 15-day count where the CFPB is going, they're going to come knocking. So they got it, it really puts a timeline on when they're supposed to respond.
That's really cool. So
Thank you.
you're not even sending a first round letter about the
No,
inquiry? No, you go right to the complaints.
Yeah, I go right to the people that can make things happen for us. The other one is the Experian call. A lot of people might not know about the Experian call, but if you've been in the space for a while, we know that if you say the right things on the phone with Experian, they'll make things happen for you. So if you're on the phone with them, they do a lot on the phone. You got to say the right things though. You got to know what to say.
Well, give me an example.
So let's say for an inquiry, right? I can't remember the actual code. Who you got to get to the fraud department for sure.
Okay.
Um, your inquiries that aren't attached to an open account by law, it states that um, they if they believe that the inquiry is your inquiry and you did it, they have to have your written signature, right? So let's say it's an online application. um, Whether you did it or didn't do it, right, they have to have your written signature in order to not remove it, right? So we know that 99% of applications are done online these days, right? So there's no way they can prove that it was you that applied for whatever it is, Lowe's or did whatever type of Target, community bank, whatever it is, right? There is no proof that it was you, whether it was or wasn't you, right? So when you get on the phone with Experian, you can tell them they're going to ask you, did you fill out a FTC report? And the answer is yes, right? Even if you did or didn't, the answer is yes. You'll be able to get through, and then you'll be able to list the inquiries that's on your credit report that you would like to have removed, and then they'll actually remove it for you right there on the phone call within 3 hours, 3 hours to 72 hours.
That's amazing. I didn't know about
Yeah,
that. That is
yeah,
really, really cool.
yes.
What's a common misconception people have about credit repair that you wish you could correct?
One thing I wish I could correct is that there's a lot of people online that claim to be gurus and claim to be all of these different things,
Mhm.
right? The quick fixes, that's one thing, right? But it does take time. We are going to have our miracle customers where you'll hear the success stories, and everybody loves the success story, right? Of the 90-day, turnaround. Everybody loves that. But there are some clients that it doesn't take 90 days. It does take 6 months. It does take 10 months. You get what I mean? And you have to be patient. I believe that's probably across the industry. We all can probably ask for patience from our clients, because there are some that just aren't patient and they just don't have a good understanding of what's going on and how the process really works. And we don't necessarily have time to explain every single nick and crammy to them on how it's working. Right. So if one thing I could change, I would ask for time.
So how do you set expectations at the beginning?
I always tell everybody the same phrase. How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time. So if you know that it takes one bite at a time to eat an elephant, you apply that same rule, and then the other phrase is, how long did it take you to get it to where it's at today?
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So now that you have this big team and you've got all these clients coming in, but the team's handling it, what does your day-to-day look like?
Oh, I still deal with sales. I'm still on the sales side. I still love sales. I still love interacting with customers. I still work with missed payments. You get what I mean? I'm still in the business actively. There still, I still talk to a good amount. I can't talk to everybody, right? I wish I could, but I still talk to a lot of clients, managing. But right now, I'm more hiring. So more executive things, hiring, training, trying to get better around in that aspect of everything. um, so yeah, that's kind of my daily duties: training and hiring.
Very, very cool. Okay, I want to switch gears right now
Sure,
and ask you a few rapid questions. Answer with the first thing that pops into your head, okay?
sure, sure.
Okay. What's your business superpower?
We're number one.
What's your business kryptonite? The area that you have to work the hardest to improve?
Uh, More sales,
What does business ownership mean to you?
operating at a high level successfully, scaling successfully, helping others do the exact same thing successfully.
And what drives and motivates you?
My father passed when I was 4, and he died at 24. knowing that he didn't get the opportunity to live out his life and his dreams. Hopefully he can live vicariously through me. And that motivation is absolutely fueling and firing inside of me to get this company and any other company that I'm a part of to the absolute top.
What's your definition of success?
Success, obviously, we all want monetary success. We all want dollars and cents. But at the same time, be able to be around with my little girl, not be in the dealership 15 hours a day, be there with her and be a good super dad, just be there with her. And, if time allows, I'll have 9 more gremlins and, I'll be there for them too.
Awesome. And if you could go back in time and tell yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on the people. Don't be so hard on them. I know business is business, but sometimes take a deep breath. Sometimes just look around, realize where you are currently, love the situation you're in, whether it's good or bad. Find joy and find love in that situation. And take a deep breath.
And do you have any other advice for someone just starting out with a credit repair business?
Be ready to fight. Be ready to fight. Every day that you wake up, it's a competitive space. So, you need to be able to differentiate yourself every time. If my ad is going, if they scroll up, Daniel Rosen's ad is going, you better make sure yours is there too. And they're going to let the customer decide who they want to work with. So you just better be ready to lace up your boots, get ready to fight, and get out there and earn it, because you got to earn it.
I love it. And what's next for you? What's the next big goal?
The big goal is to be able to duplicate what I've done and to be able to go out and help other entrepreneurs, small business owners, or people that really aren't even in the space of entrepreneurship and they may be working their job, be able to help them open a credit repair company and be able to scale as quickly as I've done and give them, the road to success so they don't have to bump their heads. I think that's something on the agenda. That's on the agenda here, to be able to go help others.
I love that. I love that so much. And how can people learn about your products and how can they reach out to you?
On Facebook, it's the McGuire Consulting Agency.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram, it's McGuire _ consulting _ agency. And you can go to www.mcguireconsultingagency.com. You'll be able to find us there, where you can reach out or call us at 314-648-8639.
Awesome. Well, Rodney, this has been amazing getting to know you and hearing your story. I learned a ton about inquiries. So I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Man, it's been an absolute pleasure. I'm honored to be here. Thank y'all for finding me. Thank you for your team being persistent, reaching out. I really appreciate you guys.
And thanks for using CRC.
Absolutely. You know it.
And for everyone out there watching or listening, if you're finding value in the things we share on this podcast, click below to subscribe and follow. Also, give us a 5-star review or share the show and help us to change more lives. And if you have a question or a comment, drop it down below because I read each and every one of them. I would love to hear from you, and I'll respond as soon as I can. And if you want to hear another amazing story, check out my interview with Israel Cordova on how he built a 7-figure credit repair business from nothing. And if you'd like to improve your credit score and learn how to earn extra income repairing credit for others, check out our brand new Start Repairing Credit Challenge. Doors are closing soon, and it's completely free. So sign up right now at startrepairingcredit.com and keep changing lives.